Now, the rest of the story.
Welcome back. Well, I'm sure by now the majority of you know I had some bearing issues this morning. This has kind of turned into this whole haymaking thing has turned into a little bit of a video series, but in about 2 passes, those 2 windrows are all I have left after I get to the end here, and I'll be about 2/3 of the way done baling hay for what we have to make for second crop. The only problem is the last third or so that we have to make has to be tedded out yet. Here's the other problem. Clouds are coming up. They're calling for a chance of rain tonight and a slight chance tonight and a greater chance tomorrow. All of this, the last 25 acres or so, is still in the windrow from when I cut it. It needs to be tedded out. It is wet underneath. It's still as green as it was when I cut it underneath. Now today was an awesome drying day, but there's no way I would have been able to get to it to rake it and bale it. All of this that I'm baling right now, I'm actually planning on coming back and trying to haul 2 or 3 loads yet tonight. Gonna finish hauling it in tomorrow, and probably, depending on the weather, which I have absolutely zero trust in the weather right now, but if it's looking like it isn't going to rain, or if they take it off the forecast entirely, I'll go out tomorrow afternoon and ted out the last of that hay that I gotta get made. The only problem is, if it's looking like it's going to rain, I'd rather go out the day after tomorrow, after it's rained, wait for the ground to have dried up between the rows, and then go through and ted it all out really good. And then probably wait a day or 2, go out and see how it's done as far as drying out, and then we'll go through and rake it, bale it, and try to get it put up as dry hay. We're planning on tubing these bales here, the bales that we made the other night. The wrapper we won't be able to get for another 2 days yet, so there's probably going to be some videos on that. If not, I know for a fact Ryan will have something on how farms work. Just how things are kind of panning out right now. It's a big rush to get as much feed put up as we possibly can. The bales that I got, I'll know in about a second here. The bales that I'm making in this field are all Ryan's. They're destined for Ryan's cows. Well, that was bale number 54. So we'll have pretty well close to 60. That'll do just feeding Ryan's cows. That's not feeding any of Dad's cows, any of Dad's calves, any of Ryan's calves. These, we're just going to say 60 bales here. I'm assuming we'll have pretty close to it by the time I'm done. These fed solely to Ryan's cows throughout the winter will last about 2.5 months, give or take a couple weeks. That really depends on when we have to start feeding them, weather conditions, if it's really cold and crummy out, or if it's a mild-ish winter. There's a few variables to take into consideration. But as far as the baler right now, because of the issues I had with it, I can't say that I haven't had any other problems with it. When I brought it back out, I actually made 40 bales before I had any issues again. But the net wrap decided to give me a little bit of trouble. It did wrap on the far side, on the roll, on the wrap, or from the wrap. I do have a piece of plastic in there to try to hold the roll over, but the problem is it's the roll of net wrap that's doing it. It's getting over too far, and the wrap isn't making full contact with the roll that it's going down onto, and it's actually over beyond the roll, and it catches on that end, and it wraps that bearing or that shaft right next to the bearing, and you get away with that once or twice, but then it really starts to give you an issue. I actually had at least 2 wraps on the net wrap. 2 bales, I mean. Let me rephrase that. I had at least 2 of the baling actions, the wrapping actions on the end of that roll. So I had a pretty good wad of net wrap on the end. I mean, the first bale I got away with it. The second bale is what really did me in, and it took me about 20 minutes to get that all cleaned off. And other than that, the belt's actually intertwined on me. It's not very often I get the pleasure of having the belts wrap up, but I actually had the inside 3 belts on the left side here actually wrapped over top of each other when I was going to drop the door back down. So that made about a 5-minute, well, it wasn't so much of a mess. I just had to pull the end gate up and get all the tension off of them, then just try to get them realigned. That bearing that went out, that really wasn't the end of the world. It's happened to me before. It's something I want to get. They're really not that expensive. I just got to pick one up when I'm at the store. One of those laser thermometers. You can point on bearings and stuff like that, check the temperature on them. You diagnose really quick if you're having heat issues. And a baler going up, I don't think anybody really wants to run the risk of burning any equipment up. But if anybody had asked, if the baler would have lit up or started on fire, would I have saved the tractor? Absolutely. If the baler didn't go up so quick that I actually had a chance to unhook the tractor, I would. I mean, the goal is to save them both, but for how much dust and dirt and straw material that's on this baler, if it would have gotten really bad, or that bearing would have really started throwing flames, it could have gotten carried away from me, or out of hand really quick. But no, it just got really hot. And before I end this video, let's go ahead and address the first, second, third, fourth crop discussion one more time. Yes, it all depends on where you're at in the world, but for us, this is actually late for second crop. Ideally, and we never get ideal conditions, but if we had to choose when we would be going through and making our cuttings of hay, it would be the first of every month, starting with June. So June 1st, July, August, September 1st. We're currently in the second week of July. We're coming up on halfway through the month of July already. And the problem is, that just puts your fourth cutting or your last cutting for the year that much farther behind, whether or not you can even get it made. Because you get too far gone or too late in the year, you really run the risk of winter killing or winter damaging your crops if you cut off that last cutting too close to your last frost or to your first frost. But I think all of us are breathing a little bit of sigh of relief between what we got made here, what we made last night. We're over 100 bales, and then what I have to make in the next few days here. All depends on the weather, but depending on the weather, but last third of the hay that we gotta cut, that's gonna add up quick too, because that's first cutting waterways. And I typically try to do second cutting of waterways in late August. So that stuff should add up pretty quick. I'm thinking with that 15 acres, well actually about 20 acres of pasture, plus the waterways, we're going to have probably another 30 to 50 bales made yet. And I do have some issues I got to address with this round baler. It's throwing some new issues towards me. And if you guys just heard that, the alarm just went off that the net wrap didn't actuate, or that it didn't put net wrap on. Well, I can see in my camera the net wrap wrapped just fine. So between that and my gate close indicator, even though the gate is all the way down, I have the locks where dirt and dust likes to build up, I have that cleaned out. And the problem is my gate close light will flash just periodically as we're going across the field. So I'm assuming on both accounts it's a sensor back there that's either getting full of dust, dirt, that's not able to work properly, or it's just out and out a sensor that's just going bad. And I'm just grateful that I'm getting the stuff made that I am, albeit super late. It's already 6:30 at night. I was planning, I would have been done at like 2, but going and getting those parts today just killed me. Not so much getting the parts, it's the trip up and the trip back. I had probably the worst luck I could have had. I got behind a slow-moving vehicle, not an actual tractor, but a truck that was loaded. And with the route that I took, both ways, I came home 2 separate ways to try to avoid that problem. But the I'm gonna fudge the numbers here. Last bale. But just trying to get home from home up to the parts store and back, I got behind a loaded truck both times. The first was a dump truck pulling a piece of construction equipment, and the second one was a loaded truck of cattle. And he literally went the whole way home that way. So, alright, I gotta dump this bale out, get back to the farm, get the flatbed, and try to get some of these bales moved off the field. The reason being is if it does rain, I don't want to risk leaving these bales out in the field, sitting on this new seating and potentially killing off our new seating. So, with that, thanks for riding along. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, take it easy, keep in touch. We'll talk to you guys later.